Hello everybody, and welcome to variaDoc. In this video, I'll introduce you to the basic concepts of variaDoc by showing you a typical usage of the application. In the next few minutes, I'll demonstrate how to merge data from an Excel sheet into an income tax form. Each row of the Excel sheet represents an individual. For the purpose of this video, each row includes the first name, the last name, and the Social Security number of the individual. These fields will be merged with the corresponding fields of the tax form. At the end of this video, we'll have one completed tax form for each individual, so that's 3 PDF documents in total. Let's get started. I've just started variaDoc, and I'm going to create a new empty project. Because I want to create documents, I'm going to add an output document to the project like this. When we select the Output document, the properties of the document are displayed on the right side of the screen. We'll not visit all of them, but let's take a look at the property Export Method. This property defines how to deliver the created documents. The default setting is Save to Disk. As you can see, there are also other options, such as Email as Attachment and Send to Printer. We'll stick with Save to Disk for the remainder of this video. We'll also check Overwrite Existing Files to make sure we can run the merge multiple times without errors. Let's see what happens if I hit the Merge button now. At the bottom of the application, we see the message log. The second message is an error that tells us Document has no pages. Apparently, variaDoc refuses to create a document with no pages, which makes sense. So let's add pages to the document. We're going to use an existing PDF, namely the income tax. We want to use all the pages, so we accept the defaults. As you can see, the document now has 2 pages. Let's hit the Merge button again and see what happens now. The error message is gone, and the log now tells us that a document has been created. If we double-click the message, variaDoc will open the generated document. We didn't fill in any data, which means we have a single document and all of the fields are empty. Before we add the Excel data to the project, let's take a look at the fields first. When we added the pages to the document, variaDoc was smart enough to see that the page has form fields. All these form fields were automatically added to the page as fields. You can see them if we expand the page. The IRS named the fields quite cryptic, so let's use the page preview to locate the first name field. For now, we're going to enter a fixed value, John, just to see what happens. We do the same with the last name. And finally, we enter a random value for the Social Security number. Let's hit the Merge button again. We can see that the merge has succeeded. Again, we can view the result by double-clicking the message. As you can see, the fields have been filled with the values that we just entered. Obviously, we don't want to enter fixed values. Instead, we want to tell variaDoc to pull the data from an Excel file. To do this, we must first add an Excel file to the project. I'm going to add it right below the project node. Next, I'll set the data source type to Excel Spreadsheet and tell variaDoc which Excel file to use. In the selection area, we keep the Select a Table option and select the only sheet in the workbook. To verify that we've set up the data correctly, we click Preview Data. That looks fine. The next step is to tell variaDoc that we want to create a merged form for every row on the sheet. Before I do this, I need to explain how a data node works. A data node acts as a repeater, which means that it repeatedly uses data items, such as Excel rows, to fill in nodes underneath itself. So if we move the document under the data node, like this, then effectively we create one document per row, and each document uses the data of that specific row, which is exactly what we want. Let's see what happens if we hit the Merge button again. In the log, we can see that the document is created 3 times. It also shows a warning saying that each document overwrites the previous one. The reason is that the file name of the output document is the same for each document. To fix this, we need to make each file name unique. We can do that by inserting a unique number that starts with 0 and is incremented with each row. If we hit the preview icon, we can verify the file names that are generated for the documents. If we merge our project once again, we'll see that none of our files are overwritten. The last step is to connect the columns of our Excel sheet with the corresponding fields of the tax form. We do this by selecting the field, going to the Binding tab, and entering an expression that selects the data from the Excel sheet. We use the dollar symbol to select the data and the colon symbol to select the column. We do the same for the last name and the Social Security number. Now we'll merge our project one last time. When we open the document, we see that the information from the database has been merged with the tax form. With this video, I wanted to introduce you to the basic concepts of variaDoc, and I hope you learned a lot. If you have any questions, contact us at hello@variadoc.com.